My name is Jenna Roller, and today we're going to be talking about effective reading instruction. What is balanced literacy? Balanced literacy is a research-based program created to foster literacy instruction through both reading and writing. Balanced literacy includes many aspects and strategies, including the Big Five. Using balanced literacy, students will encounter experience with whole language as well as phonics. The Big Five consists of 5 key skills and components students need to develop in order to read proficiently. Phonological awareness is the first component of the Big Five. PA, for short, is the ability to distinguish, manipulate, and apply sounds in oral language. PA can also be broken down into something called phoneme awareness. Phoneme awareness is a smaller section of PA, focusing on the awareness and individual sounds of language. PA is one of the earliest understandings of literacy children can develop. Some examples of PA include segmenting, blending, and deleting of sounds. Block 1 placement experience was with my teacher working on a lesson about words with same beginning sounds. She created a T-chart just like the one shown with 2 sides. She would hold up a picture and say the word out loud and then have the students put it on the chart with a corresponding sound. Phonics is the next section of the Big Five. It's a teaching method which revolves around the student's ability to manipulate words. Phonics is also the study of the relationship between written and auditory words. Phonics instruction should be used in everyday classroom instruction to develop strong letter-sound relationships. An example of phonics was with my case study student during guided reading lessons. We would talk about the book, then we would transition into a phonics-based word work activity. One week I had my student create a word flower, just like the example above, with words with all like endings. This helped my case study student with many ED words as he was sometimes struggling to identify. Comprehension is the next section of the Big Five. Comprehension is the ability and level of understanding a student can achieve while reading in the relationship to literacy. Teaching for comprehension is the main focus of this area. Teaching for comprehension must be focused around factors which can affect it. Some factors can include text factors such as genre, text structure, text access features, and reader factors such as background knowledge, enjoyment, fluency, vocabulary, and text comprehension strategies. Comprehension strategies called strategic actions can be used to help students comprehend their reading. Strategic actions include thinking within, about, and beyond the text. Thinking within the text occurs during the reading and includes using information, solving words, maintaining fluency, and summarizing. Thinking about the text occurs after the reading and typically has the student critique and analyze the text. Thinking beyond the text also happens after reading and uses ways for students to infer, synthesize, make connections, and predict. An example of comprehension was in my Block 1 placement with my teacher who would do interactive read-alouds in kindergarten. During her IRAs, she would frequently stop and question for comprehension, using questions such as, what might you think might happen next in the story? Vocabulary is the 4th section of the Big Five. This section addresses the 4 different types of vocabulary students interact with daily. These 4 types are speaking, listening, writing, and reading. It's important to remember that a person's vocabulary is only made up of words they know and understand. An example of vocabulary was a previous experience with other teachers. Some teachers have word walls in their classrooms for students to use during their reading and writing. Students can use word walls in their classrooms to remember different TO words and even help with writing word choice. Fluency is the final part of the Big Five. When talking about literacy, fluency means a student can read with both accuracy and comprehension. Fluency has 6 different dimensions, which are aspects which contribute to a student become a fluent reader. When added together, these dimensions will help students become more fluent readers. The 6 dimensions are pausing, phrasing, stress, rate, integration, and intonation. An example is teacher modeling. When I was modeling for my case study student during guided reading, I modeled how to read a book fluently, using appropriate accuracy, expression, and comprehension. I modeled, the dog ran to the park. And then I asked my student, I wonder why the dog ran to the park, modeling both expression and comprehension. Teaching strategies include interactive read-alouds, share reading, guided reading, and independent reading. First of all, interactive read-alouds, or IRAs, are whole group experiences led by the teacher, which include questioning before, after, and during the reading. IRAs must also include a book introduction, purpose, questioning, response time, and predictions. Shared reading is a reading experience with a group. Shared reading is where students share their responsibilities with the teaching. Meaning time, shared reading occurs with books which are easy to read, such as big books. Guided reading is a teacher-led small group experience with students grouped based on their reading level. Students are given a personal book and read along to themselves as a teacher checks for fluency. After reading, students can participate in word work. Independent reading is the most independent way or teaching strategy for balanced literacy. Students can read silently or quietly to themselves. An example of a teaching strategy is guided reading. We participated with guided reading with our case study student every time we met together. During guided reading, we would question for comprehension and monitor for fluency. In summary, there are many different parts to a full balanced literacy program. It must include the Big Five as well as 4 different teaching strategies. The Big Five include phonological and phoneme awareness, phonics, comprehension, vocabulary, and fluency. And our teaching strategies include IRA, shared reading, guided reading, and independent reading. Finally, here's my concept map to map out the different concepts we learned today. Thank you.